She will be distracted during the spell. She'll be vulnerable.
If we kill her, she body jumps.
Then stop her from jumping.
If I knew how to bloody stop her from jumping, don't you think I would have happily murdered her ages ago?
Are you both insane?
Hardly. Elijah, it was your idea. Get this right, then she'll have one.
And if we do it wrong, you're no longer in your own body.
You were ready to do it yourself. Hopefully, we'll get lucky and stop the spell before I jump.
And if we're not, you get what you always wanted. I mean, that's what you're saying, isn't it? You're willing to lose. We need to find someone for her to jump into. Someone who could disappear with hope.
If you were human.
When I'm old and wrinkly, you can dump me back into my old body.
But to trust KoL.
It's not about trust, Elijah. It's about finding the proper leverage.
KoL will do what's best for KoL. You just have to meet his price.
You are mad to give KoL that diamond.
I'll take my chances. Do you know what to do?
Yes, but if it doesn't go to plan, will you handle my body with care, please? I may miss the old model.
I'll be there to pull you out. We just have to take Esther down before she body jumps. I don't want all of this to have been for nothing.
You and I on the same team. It must be Christmas.
She's asleep. So quiet with Klaus and Rebekah gone. So we didn't get to say our wishes. Can I tell you mine? That you'll understand what I have to tell you.
What is it?
My wolves. I think I figured out a way to release them from the witches. They control their turning without the rings and bring peace to our home so that hope could return to us. But there's a catch. I have to marry Jackson. I know that you and I haven't been close recently, but you have to know that I don't love Jackson. I couldn't marry him and still be involved with you. I should just...
Listen to me. Do what you need to bring your daughter home. This is my wish for you.
She will be Rebekah's new host body instead of Cammy.
Who's Angelica Barker?
One of my vampire potential.
Does she know what's about to happen to her?
It's better when they don't know, love. And my mother is a wily and vindictive woman, which is why I've got to ask something else of you.
You're already getting the diamond.
In order for me to help you, I need access to my mother's hourglass. Well, I haven't been back in a while, and the only way she won't suspect me is if I bring back the thing that I was sent to find.
And that thing is...
The white oak steak.
Are you out of your mind?
Caleb.
Look, it's the only way that she's going to trust me. I swear, as soon as she's gone, I'll give it right back to Klaus.
Like hell you will. Deal's off.
KoL! We are doing this for the good of our family. Do I have your word that for once you will honor that?
You have my word, Nick. Swear on the fate of us all.
I'll get the steak.
Elijah Mikaelson was never merely a man of honor. He was its architect. To outsiders, his composure was the very embodiment of virtue, his every word laced with dignity, his every decision framed by reason. But beneath the calm exterior lay a truth far more intricate. Elijah's morality was not a reflection of the world's ideals. It was a structure of his own making, a cathedral built from centuries of compromise, sacrifice, and blood. He was not ruled by the moral codes of mortals, nor by the chaos of his family. Instead, he designed a code that stood somewhere in between, an elegant, haunting blend of righteousness and ruthlessness. To understand Elijah's ethics, one must first understand his history. He was born into violence, raised in fear, and remade in immortality. From the moment he became one of the original vampires, the world ceased to offer him a clear distinction between good and evil. There was only survival and purpose. For Klaus, that purpose was domination. For Rebekah, it was love. But for Elijah, it was order. His version of justice became the scaffolding upon which he built his eternity. In a world of monsters, he would be the gentleman. In a family of chaos, he would be the law. But Elijah's law was not justice as mortals know it. His moral code was not about mercy, nor about fairness. It was about control of himself, of his emotions, and, at times, of others. To Elijah, morality was a matter of discipline, a bulwark against the madness that consumed his family. He once said, "We define ourselves by the choices we make." And for him, every choice was a brick in the wall, separating him from the chaos of Klaus's rage and the despair of immortality. His elegance was a defense mechanism, his civility a weapon. In the early years of his immortality, Elijah's justice was swift and absolute. He was the hand of judgment among his siblings, the one who balanced their violence with a colder, more deliberate kind. When Klaus's enemies rose, Elijah was the one who decided which lives were spared and which were extinguished, not out of vengeance, but out of necessity. He would look a man in the eyes, listen to his pleas, and deliver death with a kind of quiet mercy, that was almost beautiful in its precision. In one such moment, centuries ago, he said to a traitor, "This is not cruelty. It is consequence." That single line captures the essence of Elijah's morality: dispassionate, efficient, inevitable. He was never cruel for pleasure, nor kind for approval. Every act of his life was a transaction in a moral economy of his own design. Even when he committed atrocities, he did so, believing that he was maintaining balance. He would kill one to save 100, betray a friend to preserve a family. To him, the ends always justified the means, because in his mind, there was no alternative. Immortality, after all, leaves little room for idealism. When you have watched centuries rise and fall, morality becomes less about purity and more about endurance. And yet, there was always something deeply personal in Elijah's so-called objectivity. His devotion to honor was not born of moral superiority, but of guilt. For every life he took, every sin he justified, he added another stone to the monument of his self-control. He believed that if he could act with enough grace, speak with enough dignity, and restrain enough of his nature, he could somehow atone for what he was. His morality was not the pursuit of goodness. It was the pursuit of redemption. Elijah's difference from conventional morality lies in his view of emotion. Where most see compassion as a virtue, he saw it as a liability. Emotion clouded judgment, led to chaos, and chaos, in his experience, led to ruin. He believed that the truest act of love was restraint. This is why his relationships, even the most tender ones, were always tinged with distance. He could adore deeply, but never freely. Whether it was his devotion to his siblings or his affection for women like Hayley, Elijah's love was always disciplined, always bound by the invisible chains of his moral design. He would rather suffer in silence than let passion compromise his sense of order. In many ways, Elijah's code mirrors the philosophy of ancient Stoicism. The belief that virtue lies in mastery over desire, that suffering stems from attachment. Like the Stoics, he believed in reason above all things. But his flaw and his tragedy was that he tried to apply reason to the unreasonable: family, love, immortality. The Mikaelsons were not creatures of logic. They were forces of nature. And yet, Elijah, in his endless need to make sense of them, spent centuries trying to impose structure on chaos. His life became an equation that could never balance. Still, his moral architecture served a purpose. It gave his family something to believe in. To Rebekah, he was the steady voice in a storm. To Klaus, he was the conscience that Klaus could not destroy, no matter how hard he tried. To Hope, he was proof that goodness could exist even in a cursed bloodline. Elijah's code became their compass, flawed though it was. It held them together when all else fell apart. But even architects are not immune to the collapse of their creations. Over time, the weight of his own expectations began to break him. Every choice he made in the name of honor led him further from peace. Every attempt to save his family cost him a part of himself. His greater good was always shadowed by personal pain. The lives he couldn't save, the promises he couldn't keep. His morality, once his refuge, became his punishment. There came a moment near the end of his long journey when Elijah realized that his code had not made him righteous. It had made him lonely. The discipline that kept him noble also kept him isolated. His sense of justice had not saved his family. It had only prolonged their suffering. And yet, even in that realization, he did not falter. Because for Elijah, morality was not about outcome. It was about endurance. It was the ability to stand unbroken in a world built on compromise. So, was Elijah Mikaelson truly moral? Perhaps not in the human sense. His hands are soaked in blood, his conscience shaped by impossible choices. But his morality was never meant for humans. It was meant for immortals. It was not a code of right and wrong, but a method of survival in a world without absolutes. He was, in the end, both philosopher and executioner, both redeemer and sinner. Elijah's code is his legacy, a paradoxical truth carved in eternity. It reminds us that morality is not purity of action, but the courage to act at all in a world that no longer knows what good means. He is the proof that honor can exist in hell, that even monsters can build their own form of grace. And as history fades and memory turns to myth, Elijah Mikaelson will remain what he has always been, the moral architect of an immortal family, standing in the ruins of his own creation, still believing, perhaps foolishly, that order can be born from chaos, and that redemption, no matter how distant, is always worth the price.